All right, everyone, welcome to the Indigenous Collectors Community Night. My name is Naim Cardinal. I'm one of your hosts here, along with my friends Curtis and Ty. I'll give them a chance to introduce themselves in a moment. Before we get started, I just want to thank the creator for this day and this chance for us to get together and sharing something that we love and appreciate so much, collecting hockey cards, also the game of hockey. Um, yeah, this is the first one of these we've ever done, and I just want to welcome you all here. Really excited to be here. I'm a member of the Tall Creek First Nation. I live out in Kelowna, BC now, and I've been collecting hockey cards for about 25 years. And my hockey card collection is focused on the rookie cards of Indigenous hockey players who have been in the NHL. So I'll turn it over to Curtis or Ty to introduce themselves, and then we'll ask Nick to introduce himself as well.
Sure. I can go, Ty, unless you want to go before me.
No, go ahead.
Hey everybody, I'm Curtis Howson. I am the owner of First Row Collectibles here in Winnipeg. I was born and raised here in Winnipeg. My family's from Pine Creek, Manitoba. Who just received their big plows and cows. So uh, hopefully my cousins come and visit me at my store and spend some of that cash. But no, I'm just joking. No, but I've been collecting now for man, I guess 34 years. I started in 1990 with the big Eric Lindros 440 scorecard. That's kind of what drew me to the hobby. And then I've always been some type of collector, whether it been cards or autographs. And hockey being the sport that I collected the most, and from it being a hobby, I turned it into my business, and I operate here out of 1835 Main Street in Winnipeg, and have a website, firstrow.ca.
Good day, guys. My name's Tyler Lavallee. I'm from Mississippi Cree Nation in Manitoba. I uh, I was pretty excited when Naim brought forth this idea. I think it's pretty cool way to get to know people who have similar interests, similar backgrounds, collections. I started collecting when I was younger. I was big into it back in the junk wax era. So when I found my old stash of cards during COVID, I was really sad when I found out none of them were worth more than 25 cents. But they're always fun to look at. Right around COVID, when COVID hit and we were stuck at home and I wasn't able to spend my money on travel, I decided to spend it on hockey cards again. And it was it was fun to get back into it and see how the hobby's changed and where it's moved to. And it's crazy how far it's come in terms of value for one, and how cards are made today. It's cool. I like it. I'm excited to get to know everyone and excited to share some of what I do. But I'll save that for later on. So it's good to see everyone here.
And I'm Nick Lacoste. I'm a research assistant with the Indigenous Hockey Research Network, and I'm helping out with sort of the tech tonight. But also, I do love hockey cards. When I was younger, I used to collect them all the time. And yeah, I'm an aspiring hockey manager. I want to work in pro hockey. I'm currently getting ready for a master's program in the fall at Brock University.
Thanks, Nick. And yeah, I just want to give a big thanks to the Indigenous Hockey Research Network for providing support with Nick being here, and as well as providing us with the Zoom space for us to meet tonight. So yeah, I'm just really grateful that they come alongside us and support us as we get started with this. What we'll do right now is I'll just quickly go through the agenda for the evening. If you didn't get a chance to see it yet, I'll just quickly share it with you. So we do have a slight change this evening. We're gonna just start with Eugene's presentation, and I will introduce Eugene in a couple minutes. But right after that, we're gonna do the breakout rooms where we have a chance to connect with other collectors and just kind of get to know each other a little bit. And then we're gonna have Curtis's presentation. Curtis is who is the owner of First Row Collectibles. I needed to update that. And then we'll have a question period for our presenters. So, and even if you have any questions in general, that would be the time to ask them. But yeah, I'll just turn things over to Ty here.
Yeah, so one of the reasons, well, there's a bunch of reasons, but Naim and I thought it might be cool to get this community created and create an environment for Indigenous collectors and hockey people to come together to share stories. I know like we got our buddy here, Trev, who does a good job of sharing stories of hockey players, and we thought it might be cool to have something similar where we can create a space for collectors to come together, share stories and collections, to help educate. I know a lot of, like me, there's a lot of guys who are just kind of getting back into the hobby, and sometimes you see guys out there that may be coming into our spaces, like we have a Indigenous hockey card collector group on Facebook, and sometimes you see some non-Indigenous folk coming into those spaces and trying to maybe sell some hockey cards of Indigenous players, and they might jack the price up a little bit more than what they're worth. So we kind of wanted to create a space where we can help to educate, maybe build relationships. So if anybody has questions about purchasing, or if they come across a card that they see that they just might want a little more info on, we can have a group here where we can come together to support each other and do some good things. But I think the main reason we wanted to create this group was because Names in Search of the Gold Foil 1998-99 Bowman CHL Jonathan Chichu autograph card. So if anybody out there can help Name out with that, we'd all really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's the real reason. Thanks, Ty. Yeah, no, really, like as well, like we yeah, the three of us were talking, Curtis, Ty, and myself, and we really wanted to meet people too, because like we met each other through social media, and it was because of hockey card collecting that we met each other, and we've become really good friends over the last few years, and yeah, hoping that we can share that with people. But yeah, now we're gonna go into our presentation. Have my friend Eugene Arcand here, and I'll just read Eugene's bio, and then he can introduce himself a little bit more and share his knowledge with us. So Eugene Arcand is Cree and from the Muskeg Lake First Nation in Saskatchewan. Eugene spent 9 years at the St. Michael Indian Residential School in Duck Lake and 2 years at St. Paul's Lebret Students Residence, which has informed his work for the Indian Residential School Survivor Committee for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, as well as the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation Governance Circle. He's also a First Nation Sport Hall of Fame inductee. And this info is from the Indigenous Hockey Research Network. And yeah, something else, I met Eugene probably 7 years ago now. We have a mutual friend in Edmonton named Jody Stonehouse, and there was an article on my hockey card collection a few years back, and Eugene had reached out to me through Jody to ask if I was interested in his hockey card collection at the time. And we never really talked about it, but we talked about a lot of other things, and made a good connection there. And Eugene was really instrumental in helping put together the First People's rookie card set with Upper Deck, and he was one of the advisors that we had who were overseeing that project for us. And I'm really grateful that I got to know Eugene over the years. He's been really good. A really good friend, and also someone who provides me with a lot of advice. So I'll turn things over to you. Thanks, Eugene.
Hi, Naim. Nice to meet you young men. Nigan, pogo ego tanta tamska. Ego ni stan nas kumaga mama utebet segeta magaki amote beto taihwa. So for those of you that don't yet understand your own language, I give you greetings. Yetamska tagok in Cree means I hope you get out of this sharing as much as I'm getting out of it just by getting to meet you young people, so that there's balance in our talk. And we thank the Creator for bringing us together. I know I'm very excited, and I asked Naim to record this because it is historic. You young people are going to carry on a good tradition, and it's important that I lived a life where there was no recording, and you have a life here where you can record this historic event, because it won't be very long. You're going to be my age, and you're going to be wishing that you would have recorded it. So, just a few thoughts on things I've learned. I've been collecting now for probably older than most of you, going on 47 years. And I didn't know I was collecting. I'll tell you that. I was just kind of stashing cards in a drawer until one day I woke up and realized I had a lot of cards, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous. But as I began this process and sharing it with other folks, sports guys, sports ladies, one of the lessons I learned is to understand that, especially the older cards, the Armstrong, the Nielsen's, the Sasakamoose cards, and all those other athletes that include Jim Thorpe, Billy Mills, and all these other athletes, is their cards carry a spirit. And we got to appreciate that spirit, because that spirit is what made their families proud in a time and an era when there were very few that were honored and recognized to make it to the show, whether it be for 1 game, 2 games, 11 games, or for many seasons like Jim Nielsen and George Armstrong did. And back then, it was hard to find a sense of pride. So it's important that these commodities of sports cards are not looked at only as an asset. Keep in mind that each of those cards represent a mom and a dad, a moshom and a kokum, and they're very proud of them. So, and that's our worldview. I know the world that we're in is a lot different. It's a colonial world, but it's up to you young men and you young collectors to maintain that cultural component in what we're doing. I'll leave that there for now. If you want to talk more about it, feel free later. But I want to applaud you young collectors, and I want to applaud Naim on what he did with Upper Deck. Doing that was against all odds. And we had a bunch of warriors there, not a bunch, but a number of warriors that were never going to be recognized. And I'm sure I ran into my old buddy Dan Howson, and it turned him around. He went from a recluse, and now he's doing things publicly. And that's what. And I know it changed Victor. Victor didn't want to have anything to do with it. Actually, he was kind of grouchy when we first told him about it, but had a good chat with Victor and let Victor know, hey, there's some of us that are proud of you, no matter what happened, and gave him our perspective of why we were proud of him. So what we're doing is really important. The other day I was talking to Naim, and he asked me if I was still collecting. I have a collection of over 50,000 sports cards. 90% of which is hockey, but many of them are the other sports. And for hockey, I stopped collecting after Tutu. Okay, so I have a few of those new rookie cards like Ethan and all these guys, but the contemporary ones that are playing or just getting into the game. I stopped collecting because I'm old school. And I applaud you that started in the 90s, because when we started collecting, we'd done it in an environment of poverty. There's no way I could afford cards. I come from a single parent family. And back when I was young, I couldn't really afford it. So I used to go to every flea market I could find on a Saturday and a Sunday and go look for cards. And if I could buy bulk for $3 or $4, I bought bulk, and hopefully there was an Indigenous player in there. So that's how it all started for me. So when Naim asked, "Are you still collecting?" I had to say, "No, I don't. I haven't anymore because I'm technologically challenged, and like I said, I'm old school, and that search is different nowadays. For you young people with all this technology, you can just sit at your desk and do a business. Back then, for us to get cards of our heroes, we had to hunt them down, and I missed that hunt. I'm not one to sit at a computer to do that hunt, but I'm really proud of all of you for carrying on this tradition. Like I said, I have over 50,000 cards. The two books I have, here's one of them. This is the first start of it. This is the original 6 into expansion, and it's totally full. And then I got the other ones that started with about when Chris Simon started, and that's just as full. The only ones that are not in there, I only have one Freddie there. I have 9 Freddie cards. Of course, if you happen to read, I don't know, Naim, did you share that TSN story with the?
No, I just shared it with Ty and Curtis.
Okay, for those that haven't read it, you have a chance to read it. I had 2 heroes in residential school. The first of which was Freddie Sasakamus. I have 9 of his cards. I had the chance to gift one to Mike for some tremendous work he had done. And then my second hero was Gordie Howe, because on a black and white TV sitting in front on Hockey Night in Canada, somebody mentioned that he was from Saskatoon. So he turned into my hero. And then both of these guys ended up being real good buddies of mine, to the point where they face each other and their statues face one another at Sask Place, where they've both been honored. And so I guess the advice I want to give you now as we move forward, as many of you are accomplished collectors already, is first of all, try and meet as many of them as you can. They're going to be lifelong friends. I know in my time, I've got to meet 90% of the people who are in my card collection. And I made an effort to try and let them know I have your stuff. And it's fun. And then the other part of it is times are changing. This year, the Professional Women's Hockey League starting. It's another chance to start a new collection. This is the inaugural year. Get on those cards. They're going to be worth something for your children and your grandchildren. The other one I want to advise you on a little bit, many of you may already have them, is collect these old wooden hockey sticks. Collect them. They're going to be worth something. There are hardly any made in the world right now. And all those old sticks, those Titans, those Northlands, those Sherwoods, they're going to be worth something. They're going to be novelties. Don't take it for granted that these new sticks, these carbon sticks and these metal sticks are going to be the only ones that are going to be used. And they probably will be the only ones used, but those wooden hockey sticks, I'm glad we used them, because the way we played back then, I wouldn't want to be hit with some of these sticks that they're using today. So just a couple of words of advice. I know we have some Indigenous women hockey players that are playing in that league. For sure, prioritize them. But because of the inaugural season, these sets of cards are going to be good. That's all I have for now. I showed. I want to show you something before I lose you. I'll share with you, because it's recorded, is this is Freddie Sasakamus's last game stick. And he played in a celebrity game in Winnipeg on February 23rd, 2005. I keep the stick in the dark because the autograph here, you'll see, Freddie's autograph on there, it's starting to fade. And 3 weeks after that game, he called me outside on a cold February day or March day and said, I have something for you. And he gave me the stick, which will be going into the Freddie Sasakimus family collection. It's old school. You notice how it's taped up. It's got a little handle here, and it's got the middle of the shaft is taped up. I call it Sandy Lake style, Attacker Coupe style, but he used it for grip. And he gave me the stick, and it's a key piece of my collection. Behind me, I also have Freddie's sweater that he received from the Chicago Blackhawks 50 years after he left. And you can read part of that in that story, TSN 781. The Chicago Blackhawks and the NHL brought him back 50 years after, and this was the fourth sweater he was presented, the fourth and last. The tradition of Chicago Blackhawks alumni all get 4 sweaters after they're done. The white one, the black one, the striped one, and then they get the white one. Yeah, and the one I have with me is the red one. And the new coach for Toronto Maple Leafs actually was assistant coach with Calgary. We're playing Chicago that night. And 2 people came out, Brad McCrimmon, whose dad played against Freddie in Saskatchewan League, and our new coach from Toronto was the assistant coach, and they came out and they lined up and shook his hand, and then they presented him with this his last sweater, and it's been in my care until the Sasakimus Museum is built. Also share something that's very special to me. Over the years, I got to meet some of the hockey players, and one of my favorite all-time players is Mark Messier. So Mark Messier signed my medallion. I know he's not Indigenous, but he played like he was Indigenous, and he has an Indigenous nickname, which is the Moose. And then just a couple of my collection. You were talking about Jonathan Chicho. I was lucky to find this at a flea market. It's still in a box, never been removed. So I don't know if it'll help our buddy find his card, but if he ever needs a Chicho, what do you call these things? Statuette?
Is that a McFarlane, boys? Hey, is that a McFarlane? Hey, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, it is. It is a McFarlane.
That's awesome.
Yeah, McFarlane says that on the back there. Yeah, so I have all kinds of stuff, and same as you all do, and it's going to be exciting to. Did you run out of clothes, Mike? Did you
Why?
run out of clothes?
Why? Because this is a bad Habs shirt. Hey, is that the gag? Hey?
Well, at least wear a shirt that made the playoffs.
Oh, pal, I wore this to break the record in Toronto too. Eh?
Anyway, just to wind it up, I'm so happy you've done this. I look forward to all of us someday meeting in person. Keep up the good work. Keep teaching the young ones of how important this is. That what we're doing is preserving sports history. But don't limit yourselves to hockey. We have heroes in many sports, and I'm proud to say that I have the Billy Mills card, which is very, 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 very hard to come by, and an autograph by him. I have Bridget's sweater behind me. Behind me, I also have Craig McCollum's sweater when he represented Team Canada at the World University Hockey Championships in Europe. So in closing, I say we all have collections. Don't limit it to the cards. Focus on the cards for sure, but keep in mind that they all have a spirit. No, hi.
Hey, Nanaskmo. It was really good, Eugene. Thank you so much. Maybe one day we can just have a tour of your collection there for one of these. Give us a tour of the man cave. That'd be pretty awesome.
It's called the bird cage.
Oh, the bird cage. Okay. we'll get a virtual tour of the birdcage. But yeah, I think you made a really good point there. Like, hoping one day that we can all get together in person and have one of these together when we can all come and share our collections and our appreciation for what we're all doing together here. So really grateful that you could be here today, Eugene, and that you offered to do a presentation for us. So thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah. If you do have any questions for Eugene, we are going to have a question period at the end. Something else we forgot to mention is we're doing some giveaways as well. So we're going to have a little raffle at the end. So we're going to be giving some stuff away. No sponsorships yet, but we'll get there, and we'll do a little raffle at the end. So if you can stick around till the very end, that'd be awesome. What we're going to do now is we're going to be doing some breakout rooms here just for us to do some more intimate visiting, I guess, and we can share some of our collections with each other and just get to know each other a little bit. So Nick is going to put us all into rooms randomly, and then we can all just talk about our questions. So we'll take till about maybe about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll come back, and then we'll have our next presentation, which is Curtis. So I'll put the questions in here that'll guide our conversation, but really feel free to talk about whatever you want. And also just be mindful, we're only doing 15 minutes, so just be mindful of giving other people a chance to talk as well. So we'll see you in there. Welcome back, everybody. I hope your breakout rooms were good. We were having a good visit there, me, Trev, and Terrace. Yeah, it was going really good. Yeah, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do our interview here. Ty is gonna take over. He's gonna interview our buddy Curtis here. He's gonna share his knowledge with us.
Hi, Povich. Maury Lavallee.
Yeah, Maury Povich. So Curtis and I, we actually first met back when during COVID. I told my breakout, we talked about this in our breakout room a little bit, about the COVID Facebook or no Instagram live we did. We did an Instagram live. Curtis was there, Chris was there, Naim and myself, and it was really cool. We got to know each other, and I made my way down to visit Curtis in his shop quite a few times now. Scooped up some of my collection that I currently have from Curtis. One of my, I think my only graded card. I think it's a KSA graded card. The only card of my collection that's graded is picked up. It was a Jordan Nolan auto from Curtis's shop. So we're gonna take a couple minutes. We'll chat with Curtis about his collection and what he collected and how things are going owning a shop in Winnipeg there. So Curtis, I know you introduced yourself, but could you tell us a little bit more? Maybe talk about a little bit more about how your collecting days started.
Sure. So yeah, I started collecting in 1990 at the age of 8. I was sucked in by the whole, the whole thing with Eric Lindros being the next one, right? There was the big it was more than O-Pee-Chee and Tops after in the 90s. So, that's when Score came about, Upper Deck, and some of the other sets. So I was one of those kids that was chasing that card number 440, the Eric Lindros rookie card that was once worth I think I remember it being priced at $80 at one time. So yeah, I guess that's where it all started. And then even at a young age, like opening those packs and then I remember in that set there was Kimby Daniels and Jamie Leach and Everett Santapass and guys like that. And me growing up and playing hockey is myself, to be able to see guys that kind of look like me or look like some of my teammates or look like their dads, right? Like at that age, it was cool, man. It was always something that I'll always remember, and especially like Kimby Daniels, like just the name. I'll never forget that name, because I had a lot of friends that with that last name Daniels, and you look at him and he looked like a family member, right? So yeah, I guess that's where it all started. It was 1990 for me.
So when you were growing up, did you have any type of like, did you have a main focus? Was there anything that you really latched onto to build a collection of?
Yep. So I lived really close to the old Winnipeg Arena. I grew up in an area called Weston, and we were really close to to the old Winnipeg Arena. So I would get these cards. I would get anything from Score, Upper Deck, Peachy, and I would bring them down to the old arena. And I found out that the morning skates were at 10 o'clock for the home team and 11 o'clock for the visiting team. So I would make a whole day of it. I would wait there before and after practices, before the game, and I would get my stuff signed. And so I became a big autograph hound as a young kid, and I got to meet a lot of really good players, and got to see different personalities, and found out who the good guys were and who the jerks were, and yeah, it was one of those kind of eye-opening experiences just to see these guys and kind of be really close to the game, as close as possible. So that was kind of my focus for a long time, was the autograph collecting, and it just went hand in hand with collecting hockey cards.
That's awesome. That's cool. So you talked about how collecting young inspired you to kind of open up your collectible shop. I know you were set up at the Forks there for a while. I was able to get in there, and that's the first time I saw the Fred Sisakamoose frame picture you had, and
Yeah,
I've been kicking myself every day since you sold that, wanting to
yeah.
pick it up. But I
So
know you told me that it went to a good home, so that was good.
did. Yeah, yeah.
But
So yeah,
what
yeah.
inspired you?
I'll tell you a quick story about that. So, um, I got to thank Naim for and everybody that was involved in the First People's set, because it put a lot of eyes on my store, and I got to meet a lot of people that are in this room right now. Based on that, based off just the exposure that I had in that with the set. But there was one picture, I guess in CBC, where the Fred picture's behind me, and I had a call one day from Jason Sisakamoose, the grandson of Fred, and he says, "Hey, that picture you have there, you still have for sale?" And I just sold it a week earlier. And the thing is, though, I connected him with the buyer, so the buyer will be sending it to the Sisakamoose family when he's done with it.
That's awesome. I remember that. I remember that story that they did, and I remember seeing that Freddie in the back, and I was like, that thing's getting sold. It's not
Yeah,
gonna be there next time I go. I knew it was gonna be sold. Um,
yeah.
yeah, so like I was saying, the first time I saw it was at the Forks when you were set up down there before you moved into your current shop. Um, so what did you have any inspiration for opening a shop? Was it something that you've always thought of, or?
I always thought of it. I've always dreamt of that. Like I was always that kid that was going into shops, and like Eugene had mentioned, like I was that kid that grew up in poverty, that went into shops with $5 or whatever it was, whatever I can get from my mom on the 20th, right? Like that was the big payday for us. And I felt like I was that lone native kid that was in the hobby, in the community. And I remember going into shops, and it took me a long time to earn the respect of these different shop owners. They would kind of like look down on me, like, here's that kid he's not gonna spend any money here. He's just here to look. And then over time, just being able to kind of show these guys that, hey, I'm a collector, right? I'm not gonna spend a lot of money here, but I'm gonna respect your store, and I'm gonna spend what I have, right? And yeah, man. Um, I guess yeah, that's me, and even now owning the store, a lot of these guys that are still in the game, Joe Daly and some of the guys around or locally, they still remember me as that little kid, and I think they're proud of me to see that I grew up to own my own store and kind of learned in the business, and know the business now.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I've been down to your shop a few times now. I to try and make it a priority to stop in whenever I get into Winnipeg. Do you have any could you share maybe some challenges or highlights that you've had? I know you talked about the Indigenous rookie card. That was huge. I remember stopping in when that was happening, and there was all kinds of madness.
Yeah.
The news crew was there one time I stopped in, and it's if you could share some of those highlights or challenges with us.
Yeah, so that was a really good time for us, with the first people set and being the I guess the sole distributor when it came to hobby shops. We were super busy. We always had people coming in, people from all over, and a lot of people calling in too. A lot of people calling in and asking about the sets. Um, and I'll always remember that. I got to thank everybody that was involved in that because it really helped put us on the map, and it continues to to bring in a lot of people because just based on that. But yeah, it's a very challenging business to be just strictly a card shop. I'm a collectible shop. I deal in everything. I deal in comic books. I deal in action figures, um, and the main reason for that um, is very hard to make money when it comes to cards. When you're talking about your boxes and your packs, those are kind of your door crasher items. There's not a very high markup when it comes to that. Where you're making your most money is on selling single cards. Because you're able to buy at a percentage when people bring it in. But yeah, it's not an easy business, but at the same time, it's a very fun business. I get to go home and know that I had a good day, or my son had a good day, or my friend Anthony who works at the shop here too is we all get to work around our passion, and that's sometimes worth more than money.
Yeah, that's awesome. I haven't had a chance to make it in when your son's been working, but hopefully soon. So I know not last time, but one of the few last times that I was in the shop, um there was a who was it? It was a Trache. There was a Trache jersey that you had there, and again I kicked rocks over it, and I
You,
debated. It's your shop's like Costco, like you got to buy it on the spot. It might
you,
not be there
you
next
gotta
time.
get You got to get it, man. Or else you're gonna lose out. That's the way it goes, bro.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Uh,
lucky that way. Like especially when it comes to Indigenous players, like we're, at any given time, you're gonna see a lot of Indigenous players showcased in our showcases because of that, right? There's a lot of our people that will stop in that are from out of town, and they're looking for those players. So I know anytime we get a Jordan tutu, I put it on, on our showcase or on the website, and it's gone right away. And someone like Brian Trache, autographed jersey, we may have had it for a few days, and it was gone. Because I think our people will, if the business is good and the people working at the business are good people, they'll support it. And I feel very grateful for being able to do that, and very grateful to them.
for sure. So I know we talked about two big pieces. Are there any other pieces of memorabilia? I guess it doesn't have to specifically be hockey cards, but anything that's come through your shop that maybe you had a hard time letting go of?
Um, yeah, I can show you something real quick here. Like this came in. I want to say about 3 months ago, and it's a watch that they used to give out to the winners of the Calder Championship of the AHL, and this particular one is from 1964-65, and it's from a player. It's from a player, Wayne Larkin, and Wayne Larkin, after winning this championship, went to training camp with Boom Boom Geoffrion, and actually died on the ice. So this particular item, yeah, he owned it, and so this is one that I like to hang on to. But I know, like, if the Larkin family ever comes in, they're from Winnipeg. If they ever do come in, I know where it belongs. It belongs with their family.
For sure. That's super interesting. Um, Maybe for the guys, the fellas in the group here that haven't had a chance to come down to your shop, maybe could you turn the camera around, show us a little
Sure,
bit?
yeah, yeah, I can show you. Yeah, so it's a little bit. We're doing a little bit of work here right now, just restocking some of our Pokemon, and there's my son over here. Say hi, Kaden. We're very wrestling heavy over here too. We got a big. I'm a big wrestling fan. Actually, I'm actually wrestling myself in a couple weeks. I'm wrestling on June 15th. So yeah, that'll be fun.
Iron Python?
What's that? Yeah. I play a character in a CTV comedy called Acting Good. I played the Iron Python, and I play another wrestling character in another CTV comedy, an Indigenous comedy called Don't Even, and that'll be out in this summer. So yeah, wrestling's always been part of me. So yeah.
So you talked a little bit about how you've been involved with acting. And when I heard you were going to be in the Acting Good series, I was stoked. And then, man, that character, you knocked it out of the park.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I got the audition. Like I've always worked in our community. Like my actual job is I'm an action therapist. I work for an organization called Whistling Wind, and I work with boys, and just building relationships around. I met Paul Rablowskis, and he asked me if I'd like to come in for an audition for a wrestling character, and I thought nothing of it and went in, and I've been lucky. I've been acting ever since. I've been acting now for 4 years, and I got some pretty big parts. I'm in the new Fubar movie that comes out. I'll be playing the Diener's buddy, Casey. So that'll be fun. And I got to do a few scenes with Zach Galifianakis and Connie Britton and Catherine Newton in a movie called The Winner. They actually have me playing a Hispanic guy, so that'll be fun when that comes out too.
That's awesome. Before we wrap it up, I don't know if we'll get another opportunity to have a shop owner in, but maybe is there anything in terms of like distribution with Upper Deck? Like you're an Upper Deck diamond dealer, which is something that's hard to come by nowadays, I think, right? Like it's not
Yeah,
just been out
yeah,
anymore.
they don't give
Can
those
share
out.
some of that.
Yeah, they don't give those out anymore. I guess it's really hard to become a diamond dealer, and so I'm very grateful and very thankful that I was able to get that. And I think that's what kind of helped out with me. With Naim suggesting me as being one of the distributors of the First People set. But yeah, I'm a diamond dealer, and in terms of distribution, I deal with a distributor called Grossner, and most people across Canada, most dealers, that's who they deal with too, is Grossner Distribution. And the way that distribution happens when it comes to any type of collectibles is it goes by seniority. So us being pretty new, we've been here for 2 years. We're kind of low on the list when it comes to allocation of boxes and whatnot. But yeah, we're just gonna. I guess it's part of paying your dues. Right now, like we don't have any Series 2, and there's some of the bigger businesses that they have no problem getting those. But when we do get that kind of stuff in, the support's there and people are buying it. So it's just paying our dues and kind of buying our time here, and we're gonna we're gonna be where we want to be.
That's awesome. Right on. Well, that's it for my questions. I think we're gonna take some questions, maybe take some questions from the group in a bit. Is that right, Naim?
Yeah, we can do that right now.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Yeah. Any questions for Curtis or for Eugene?
This is for Curtis. Do you guys still have that Back to the Future DeLorean?
Hey Trev, unfortunately, again, just like Ty was talking about, man, when a lot of those things when they come in, you kind of got to jump on it, man, because yeah, it's gone. But I'll get you one. I'll get you another one. The next one that comes in has your name on it.
Okay, thanks.
So I got one off that original question sheet. what's your plans moving forward? Like, do you have plans? Are you pretty content where you are? I know I come in there and sometimes you're like, man, I need more space. But like, are you pretty good where you are right now? I know you got a sweet location.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty small in here. You know, if you look, it's the size of somebody's living room, but we make it work. We're so good at cycling out our stock. Of course, I'd like to have more boxes and more unopened product, but the way that the way the economy is and the way that the hobby is right now, you see a lot of local businesses going out of business because they're buying things like the cup and they're buying all these expensive boxes and they're sitting on them. So it's not like I said, it's not an easy business, but the way that we kind of run things, I like being small right now, but I know there's going to come that time where we're going to have to make those big steps to become even bigger, and it's just not the right time yet.
Right on.
I have a question for Eugene. Yeah. I know you've been collecting a long time. What's the prize of your collection to you? What's your favorite thing in your collection? Oh, I think you're on mute.
All right, sorry, I was talking to myself for a while. Can you hear me now? Can I hear me now?
Yep.
Can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I was doing quite a bit of talking there. Didn't know I was talking to myself. It'll always be my Freddie collection. I had a chance to spend a lot of time with Freddie. I was really, really lucky to spend time. You know, he was my hero, right? And so, um, in the settler world, I guess my collection of Gordie Howe stuff, I've passed a couple of them on to the Gordie Howe Park here in Saskatoon. Some of the stuff you'll see there is my stuff that Gordie had given me. I have so much. After Freddie and Gordie, it's all very important to me. I have a vast array of sports memorabilia. I have a baseball card signed by Paul Molitor, baseball from the World Series, 1993 World Series, things like that. And then contemporary, I don't know how many of you have read that story, the Every Child Matters hockey stick. Anyway, here's the hockey stick. So a young fella by the name of Clay DeBray and I, after the World Championships last year, and they were handing out those trophy sticks, figured, why are we handing out trophy sticks? Why can't we use a stick for game use? So we developed this stick, and it's called Every Child Matters hockey stick. Only 3,000 of them were made in Canada. It has a teardrop on it because that's where we went to cry. On the front is Every Child Matters. Where you shoot from, the handle is a Métis sash replica. On the bottom, near the bottom, you'll see a teddy bear, which were articles we were not allowed to have. On the side is the turtle for Turtle Island, which we all reside on. On the blade is whoa, geez, I'm busting up my stuff here. Is a eagle feather. So after you snipe one, you raise your stick high into the air to respect the eagle. And on here is also four little different colored hands to represent that every child matters. There's only 3,000 of these sticks in Canada. I'm pretty sure they're close to sold out. The first one is in the Hockey Hall of Fame. I have the second one with Big Bird on it and personalized. Clay DeBray the partner who did all the homework on it, has a third one, and out there is another 2,700 sticks. Many of them I know are hanging in corporate offices, but there are some people that were astute enough to go out and collect them. So right now in the contemporary world, that would be my most prized possession, but I have so many, and I have so many because I got to meet these guys. You know, I got to meet Stan Jonathan. I got to meet Reggie Leach. I got to meet all of these legends, Chris Simon, and my good friend Gino was very special. All these guys were, I have all of their stuff, and we're planning now. I'm 72 years old. We're planning on passing it down to one of my grandsons is actually building a shed, a waterproof shed to store the collection, and it'll be handed out when I'm gone to the grandchildren and the great grandchildren to do what they want with it. So it's important. What you guys are doing in this collection is we're not money people, but we have memorabilia that we can pass down to our descendants. It's vitally important. So, and by then they're going to be worth a lot of money. And we're not leaving money, but we're leaving assets for them. If they'll part with them after, that's their call, but at least they'll be able to pay their rent and buy some groceries, which is many of us couldn't do. We're very young.
I got a question. Do you have any single daughters or granddaughters?
If do you have any horses? I prefer Appaloosas.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that's an amazing collection you got going there. So to be able to inherit something like that would be amazing.
Actually, I do have one daughter. She's a sports nut. She's a registered nurse, and she's probably wearing her Edmonton Oilers stuff right now. But she's taken, sorry. But it's so fun to collect. You know, I even have Oiler toys. You know, I have a little Zamboni, a little Oiler truck. You know, all of this stuff I have. I actually have Jimmy Johnson's racing gloves. See, and I remember, I know one time you may have been watching a race and they sat him out for 2 laps. That's because his guy in the shop got caught cutting off 2 fingers off one glove and 1 finger off another one. When they made the pit stop, they got caught and they had to sit out 2 rounds. These are the gloves. And I got them from the pit at the Las Vegas Speedway from him, from Jimmy Johnson after the race. So some of this stuff is stuff I never ever expected to get, you know, but it's in my collection now, and it's a long story. One good one is I have here the Ottawa Red Blacks. This past fall, I had the honor on September 30th of doing the coin flip between the Red Blacks and the Montreal Alouettes. And I don't know if any of you have seen it. I think there's some pictures online of it, but they told me to flip it really high. And I had told Stephanie, I think Montreal are going to win this coin flip. Well, Montreal won the coin flip and they never lost the game for the rest of the season, and they went on to win the Grey Cup. I did that. Am I laughing by myself or can you guys hear me?
Oh, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Bird, that was this year? This year the championship you're talking about? Oh, that's amazing.
Just
That's
hang on, I'll grab the coin.
That was a great game too. I never watched football, but me and my Aunt Marion and Sue Lookout watched that bad boy. Because her and her sister always bet $5 on the Super Bowl, CFL, and Major League Baseball for what it's worth. Let's see it, Jay.
So here's the coin. If you ever flip a coin in the CFL, Red Blacks are the home team, and on the back is the CFL logo. And it's a pretty weighty coin. It's about this little over about the size of a toonie. But I never ever thought in my lifetime that I'd be at center field at a CFL game flipping a coin representing Indian residential school survivors. It was pretty emotional.
It's pretty awesome.
I'll,
So,
I'll tell you another one, Naim. I'm going to tell you
sure.
another. This one I just passed. I had an Edmonton Oilers golf bag. And one day we're here at the dunes and Bobby Hull shows up. So, of course, being a hockey guy, I went and befriended him. And we had some mutual friends. Actually, I was pretty good friends with Dennis and, of course, Eddie Shack. And so I started sharing some time with Bobby. And I said, "Hey, Bobby, would you sign my Oilers bag?" And he said, "Only for you, Bird, and you'll be guaranteed to know right now that there will never be my autograph on any Oilers memorabilia. This is the only one." So I just on Mother's Day passed that golf bag on to my daughter. So an interesting one of just being at the right place at the right time and having a one of a kind piece of memorabilia.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for all your stories, Eugene. It's been great having you here. Just wondering, any other questions for Curtis or Eugene? And then maybe we'll move into our giveaway if there's not.
Game on.
Game on. Oh, they're
My
missing the
wife
Oilers
said
game.
Time to go.
Yeah. Okay. We better do that giveaway.
And they're down by one.
Ah,
Jamie Benn, holy jumping.
Yeah, got have his rookie card.
So
Oh,
we got a few things to give away. I'm going to be donating an autographed Reggie Leach card. Reggie signed this at the 2019 Hometown Hockey in Enoch. So
Oh, yeah.
one of you will be walking away with this. And then I also got a 1969. This is what is this? Is
Jim Nielsen.
It's a Jim Nielsen All-Star. It's from Christie's Cookies. So this came in a box of cookies back in '69. It's an All-Star card. So I got those. I'm donating those to the giveaway. I think Ty and Curtis got a couple of things to give away as well.
yeah, I got a few things there too. I have a Jim Nielsen autograph signed here in Winnipeg. I have a Johnny Hockey Ice Premiers. I know Naim's a big fan. And then Ty's guy here, Joseph Wall, Upper Deck UD Canvas rookie.
Awesome. And
Thank you.
from my end, just as a thanks for the guys, people joining us here today, I got a Jordan. Oh, I guess I got an unblur here.
We just tied it up, just so you know.
Nice.
Oh, I got a Jordan Nolan freshman signatures. That's numbered out of 999. I got an old, not the cheat sheet names looking for, but I got a cheat sheet sign of the times. And then I got everyone's favorite Muska, Ethan Bear.
Oh, yeah.
Auto. Yeah. So what do
Right.
we got? We got 3, 6. We got eight to give away. I don't know if we have 8 guys in here with us.
I think we've got 7.
Everybody's getting something.
Yeah, everybody's getting something. Well, let's start with this Reggie Leach autograph.
I'm just trying to share my screen.
So on Reggie, for the boys in Manitoba, did you ever go to his golf tournament? Jamie's golf tournament, Jamie and Reggie's?
I think I'm
haven't
gonna
gone
try.
to the tournament, no.
No.
I'm gonna try sponsoring it this year. I know. So there's a local rink that Jamie he has this shoot to win hockey tournament out of
Yeah,
just down the street here. So yeah, we're gonna contact Jamie this very soon here and try to be a part of it.
right on. For 2 years in a row, I was the MC for their golf tournament.
Oh, right on, right on.
Yeah, and so on that second year, they gave me a Philadelphia Flyers golf bag, and it had Jamie's autograph with his Stanley Cup wins, and Reggie's autograph, and I passed it on to one of my Philadelphia diehard relatives from James Smith, and it's sitting in his living room right next to his TV, watching the Oilers in the playoffs, and his Philadelphia Flyers didn't make it.
I haven't been to his golf tournament, but I did drive through his hometown a couple of weeks ago. I drove through Riverton. I went up for my birthday. We went up to Hecla for a round of golf and a night away from the kids.
Oh yeah, good people, those guys. Most hockey people are.
Yeah. All right, I think I got everyone's name. I think did I get everyone?
Nick, you want your name in there? Throw his
No,
name
go-
in there.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
Yeah, let's get his name in there. We got to give more. We have more prizes than we have people.
Yeah.
There we go, Nick. You're in. So I'm gonna shuffle this. How many times should I shuffle it? Give me a number.
Let's do
Somebody.
3.
1, 2, 3. All right. So this is for the Reggie Leach auto coming from Naim. Ronald. All right. So I
Joe.
guess we'll move. All right. Curtis, you want to put a prize up? Oh, where'd he go?
Yeah, let's go with this. Let's go with the Jim Nielsen autograph.
All right, Jim. Jim Nielsen from First Row Collectibles. Oh, how many of those are there now, Eugene?
You know what? I don't have that one,
Oh,
so that'll be new.
right on.
Right on.
Well, thank you.
In honor of the new season of Shorzy, we'll throw this one up first. The Jordan Nolan. Sorry, I'm just keeping track here as I. Jordan's going to Terrace.
Thank you.
Right on. Trev? Should we go with yours next or?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the Jim Nielsen All-Star card.
So the gym still smells like Fruit Loops. Trev. Right on. Trev's getting the Jim Nielsen. Curtis, you wanna
Sure, let's go with the Johnny Hockey Ice Premiers auto.
Yanni? Mike?
Right on. Thanks, boys.
I'll throw up the I guess I'll hold on to the I don't know. I'll do a combo. How about that? I'll do Ethan Bear and Chi together and then the guy who doesn't get picked, not that it's a loss, because I'd personally love to have it, but the other guy will get the Joseph Wall from first row there. Sounds good?
Let's do
All
it.
right, so Chichu and Bear. Chichu and Bear. All right, so Nick's got the Chichu and the Bear. And just to make sure he wins it for the
Odds are
Joseph
good.
Wall, young
Watch a
canvas.
red circle
Yeah.
gonna come in.
Yeah.
Right on.
Nice.
So, Chris, if you don't want that, I'll pick that up next time I'm down in Winnipeg. And
You, tell you what, brother, you can absolutely take it. I have zero Toronto stuff, so you notice the Red Wings background in my video, right? There's Eiserman stuff everywhere. It's yours, man. Take it.
Hey, before we break off, I want to show you something. So, I'm going to be calling a charity bingo in Ottawa on June 3rd. They wanted educational. So what I did, and what I do at most times, I've called a few charity bingos, is I associate it with Indigenous hockey players. So for the one I do on November or June 3rd, I have here every NHLer that historically, with their numbers, where they're from, how many years they played, a little bit of trivia on each. I only went with those that are no longer playing. I didn't put the ones that are playing, just to let people know where who's who, where they're from, if they don't already know. And in there, I included, of course, Bridget, the woman. I included our volleyball player, or our water polo player, Wanique Horn-Miller, we're number 14 from Ganawagi. But on this list, I'll just run it by you in case you can check it off with some cards you may be looking for. But the ones I have from the old school are, of course, Bridget, Stan Jonathan, Armstrong, Fleury, Chichu, Tutu, Reggie the Rifle, Trache, Carey Price, Mano Riom. I have the first lady to play in the NHL. I actually got to watch her play when Dean Gerard was playing with the Nashville Knights way back in the day. Mano is not only a beautiful woman, but a hell of a hockey player. Gino, Scott Daniels, Ron DeLorme, Dwight King, Jim Nielsen, Chris Simon, Henry Boucher, Gary Sargent, Danny Hodgson, Jamie Leach, Michael Furland, Blair Atchingham, Victor Mercredi. And that's who I have so far. I think I got most of them. And I have every one of their cards. And more. So if you're ever short, now that I know who you are, and you have some family members looking for some memorabilia, if I can help, I sure as hell, I will. I promise you that. Freddie's a little bit out of bounds. He's special in my heart. He's my hero, but the rest of them I'll definitely share with you if you have family members that are looking for memorabilia. And that's what we're about. We're about our families, and sometimes you need a helping hand, and give it to a little guy to let him know his great grandpa was a hero, which can change a life. We're all lucky young. You guys are all lucky young men. I'm a lucky old man to be alive to share a sport we love. It saved our lives.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eugene. And yeah, I just want to thank everyone for being here today and being part of this first event. Hopefully we'll have more in the future, and I'm really hoping that we'll be able to do this in person one day too. Hi, Curtis, you have any words to wrap us up with?
I'd just like to echo your words and your thanks to Eugene. That's a big bar to set for future guests and interviews and sharing. Thanks so much, Eugene, for coming out tonight to share.
Hey. Yeah. pleasure is all mine.
Yeah, I just want to thank Eugene for all those words too. Yeah, it was awesome to hear from you, and thank you everybody for coming out and listening. You know, hopefully we can do this again, and hopefully it won't be another 3 years. It was nice to see a lot of familiar faces. Chris, good to see you again, and Trev, and Ronald, and Mike, and you know, everybody else. Terrace, thanks for coming out, guys, and let's do this again soon.
Yep, for sure. We'll be in touch with everyone for your addresses so we can get those prizes to you.
And phone numbers, Ty. Name. Get our phone numbers. I'd like to stop in to visit Ty in Winnipeg next time I'm around. So
Okay, I'll do
I
that.
think it'd be good. And I don't mind the boys having my number in case they have family members looking for stuff. Even this Chicho thing, I don't mind passing it on to Chicho family if they're ever looking for it. You know, I know they're hard to come by.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, take care, everyone. Go Oilers.